1. Good morning, Rise and Grind coaches. This is Coach Chaz, founder of the team, and we just got back from Summit. So I am on friggin' fire. The type of fire I haven't had in a while. You guys all know I've been struggling ever since I got back from my Success Club cruise in March because that was my big goal. That was my big thing I was chasing all year. And I made the mistake of not setting any big goal after that. So Summit could not have come at a better time for myself, and I know a lot of other people. We will be having Coach Dawn on the call next week to share her experience as a first-time Summit goer and as somebody who's kind of sat on the sideline and watched the whole time she's been a coach. And I can tell she definitely had those light switch moments I always talk about, guys. So Summit is absolutely the key ingredient to, I believe, success in this entire business. If you have to get at least one Summit so you can see Carl Daikeler's vision for the entire team, because it's easy to sign up as a Beachbody coach and look at this thing as just like an online store, and yeah, you get a cool team to plug into and challenge groups and all this kind of stuff. Guys, you have no idea what Beachbody is about until you go to Summit and you experience that energy live and you hear Carl Daikeler himself speaking about this stuff. So I'm excited to have Dawn on the call next week for that. So anyways, diving into recognition, we have Miss Kaylee leading the pack at Success Club 12, which she basically just destroyed the PIO launch. She nailed all those points pretty closely together. Then followed shortly by myself, which I'm at 6 points. We have Phil at 3, Charlotte at 2. For those of you guys that are creeping up on Success Club 5, it's not too late in the month to make it happen. I have had several months, including May, that I hit my last 2 points on the last day of the month. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way to make it happen. I'm living proof of that. I am now at 18 months in a row at Success Club 5. Not because I have a huge network of people I can reach out to and sell Challenge Pack very easily, but it's because I wanted it and I made it happen. No excuses. New coaches, we have Tessa Miller, who I personally brought on a few days ago. And we also have Rob Christie, who was brought on by Coach Phil. So congratulations to you guys for sponsoring coaches, and congratulations to the new coaches for taking that first step into this business. It can be whatever you want it to be. Anyone who's in this business, like I said, whatever you want to make this thing, that's what it will be. If you want it to be just a fun little community thing and, yeah, you get to sell some products and do P90X and all this stuff, that's what it will be. It will be just a fun hobby to have. If you want it to be a 6-figure business that allows you to become financially stable and free and to become your own boss and do what I do and work from home and set your own schedule, take weekends off, spend time with family, that kind of stuff, you can make it that. It takes work to make it that, though. So diving into, I basically just jotted down a few different bullet points. Some of them are quotes or phrases that I heard at Summit that really stuck out to me. So first is just going to be a quick Summit recap. We had Darren Hardy, who's the creator of Success Magazine, as a speaker. He did an 1.5-hour seminar on choices, all based on the compound effect. Most of us have read that book. If you have not, look it up, get it. I believe there's an audio version if you prefer audio versus actually reading, but I highly recommend everyone on this team read that book because it's incredible. The compound effect is basically small, tiny little daily actions, all based on your choices that lead up to the big result. So when you're faced with that cheeseburger or that salad, it's those choices that will ultimately define what level of success you have down the road, because chances are if you're making the wrong choice, just small little wrong choices on a daily basis, you're gonna find out a year from now you're gonna be in the exact same spot that you're in. But if you start cleaning up those choices, making the better choices, tiny little things, guys, you'll be amazed at where you are in a year. So we had Darren Hardy, we had Diana Nyad, who I had never even heard about until Summit. I knew she was the guest speaker. I never bothered to look her up, and now that I've heard her speak, holy crap, she is absolutely incredible. I highly recommend you look her up on YouTube, Diana Nyad. She had this big goal because when she was a little girl, she lived in South Florida, so her and her mom would be at the beach. And you know when you look at the horizon out on the ocean, just from the light coming down, you can always see kind of that white strip. just the reflection of the sun. One day, Diana asked her mom, she said, "Mommy, what's that out there?" And at the time, she had just gotten into swimming, right? She was getting into some competitive swimming. So her mom said, "Oh, that's Cuba, honey. I bet you can even swim out there. It's so close." Obviously, Cuba is not close. So she always had this thought in her head, and she never went for it. She retired swimming at the age, I think it was 35 or something like that. She retired from swimming. She came back at 62 years old, and she trained and swam from Cuba to Florida with no shark tank. She was just open water. She had a boat and a crew next to her to supply her with food and that kind of stuff, but she wasn't allowed to touch the boat. She would just friggin' swam. Talk about diligence and persistence, right? That's just absolutely nuts. So she was absolutely incredible to hear about.
Can I say something, Chess?
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
I had no clue who this lady was when she got up to the stage. I was like, who's this old lady? And I'm going to listen to her. And everybody in the States was like, you know, they were all clapping. They knew who she was. Me being from Canada, I never heard the story. And by the end, I was in tears. And I was like the first one up, clapping so hard for this lady because it was such an inspirational story. And the story of her and the success that she had. And like you said, at the age of 62, she accomplished her dreams and goals was just amazing. And it inspired me big time. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She was just absolutely incredible. And I love how all of these different success stories, they all directly correlate into what we can do in business. You know, for her, she wanted to quit at a certain mile marker. Her beliefs started to go down. She was getting exhausted. She was physically and mentally drained. But something deep down inside of here, guys, she just kept going. It's the exact same thing with what we're doing with Beachbody. We all want to sign up a huge team of 1,000 coaches and everyone is active on Shakeology, right? That's like the dream. But it's not that easy. You're going to hit those times where you're so freaking exhausted, but it's those times that are defining moments of your success. It's those times that's going to show who is serious about this. Because motivation is temporary. Motivation will leave. It's when that motivation is gone and you wake up exhausted. You wake up and say, I'm out of leads. I have no one to talk to. I'm just going to take a day off. I'm just going to relax on the couch. I'm going to play some Xbox. Those are what Darren Hardy was talking about. Those are the defining moments where your choices will make or break your success. So, yeah.
So that's when he was talking about the why power, right? Because motivation, you can like keep trying for it, but it's more the why power of like, why is the reason we're doing this and why is the reason that we're starting, right?
Yep, exactly.
Cool, thanks.
Yep, absolutely. So, summit recap, guys. Those were just a few stories of the speakers. We also had 6 different training sessions, which each one brought their own thing. I'll share with you guys at the end something I took out of one of the trainings about customer experience. It was all about vision and belief, so I'll touch on that in a bit. So, again with Summit, as you can tell, Summit is the place to be. I don't care. I would prefer you go every single year, but I don't care if you just make it 1 year. You have to at least experience one summit to see what Beachbody is truly about, what Carl Daikeler's vision is truly about. Because when you go to Summit, I don't care what position you're in as a coach. When you leave Summit, you are damn proud to be doing what you're doing. I know that's what I get out of it every single time. It always refreshes my whole mindset, and it makes me come home damn proud because it's easy to go a few weeks or a few months and love what you're doing, but doing the same thing, it's like that with anywhere in life. If you do the same thing over and over, eventually the motivation goes down. You start to kind of slack. Your passion really isn't there as much. Man, you go to Summit, it gets right back. It makes you come home so proud and so fired up and ready to keep doing what you're doing. It reminds you of why you're doing this thing too. So with that, if you did not sign up already, obviously most of you have heard by now there was a 15,000 person limit on Summit for next year, which is in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be July 16th through 19th. Now, there was a $99 special that went on from, I believe it was, Thursday evening up until Sunday night. So if you registered and got on the wait list by the end of Sunday night, when you are off that wait list, They're going to send you an email. So check your email every single day if you're on the wait list, because when you get that email, you have 24 hours to reply back and register. Now, if you registered before Sunday night and got on the wait list, they will honor the $99 special. I'm actually going to turn my music off real quick because that is getting in my way. All right, there we go. So if you register before Sunday night, got on the wait list, they will honor the $99 special, but you have to make sure you are checking your email every single day, because you do not want to be that person that missed your email and missed the sign-up period, because then you have to re-enroll on the wait list and you'll get bumped all the way to the bottom, guys. So get on the wait list. If you are not on the wait list right now, in my mind, that as a leader of the team shows that you are not serious about building this thing. I don't care what your financial situation is. I don't care about any of that, because I've been dirt broke. I've been without cars. I know exactly what that feeling is. And it feels like, oh, I can't afford that. I really wish I can go. I'm telling you, if you want this thing bad enough, find a way to make it happen. I can't tell you how many people I've had come to me for challenge packs and that kind of stuff, and they give me the I can't afford it excuse. But guess what? If they want it bad enough, they will sell stuff. They will take on extra shifts. They will do something to get that extra money to make it happen. So if you are serious about making this thing, anything really, get to Summit next year. Get your butt on that wait list today. Moving forward, Team Cup Challenge. I'm super excited about this one because obviously we just finished up Summit. Energy is extremely high, and this Team Cup could not have come at a better time. So if you have not already done so, look inside of the Team Rise and Grind. Scroll down a little bit. It's a few posts down, but I did a post on this, and I asked everyone to put their name down there if you want to be on a team, so I can know how many teams we need, because there's only teams of 5. So I'm going to be assembling those teams starting tomorrow. And so you basically have up until the end of tonight and tomorrow morning to get that done. So I know that you want to be on a team. So Team Cup Challenge, if for those of you newbies, we're starting to grow the team, so we have a lot of newer people. Team Cup Challenge is simply a team of 5 coaches, and this is throughout the whole company. So I think there's like over 2,000 teams that sign up for this thing. There's prizes for the top teams if you hit 35 points, I believe. So 35 all the way up to 70 points for the whole team. You basically get these cool prizes. So aside from the prizes, getting free stuff is always fun, but this is basically just a 30-day all-out push. It's an extreme 30-day focus to build your business. All those people that you've wanted to reach out to but you've been too afraid to, guys, get over yourself. Get over your fear and just make it happen, because you may ask yourself, why haven't I had more success? It's because you haven't talked to enough people. That's all it comes down to. And I know it's because of fear and self-doubt and not believing in yourself. But I'm here to tell you, get over yourself. Life is too damn short to live day by day in fear. Because when that day comes that you know you're going to die, if you're on your deathbed, guess what you're going to think about? All those days that you could have made a difference in someone's life. And you didn't, because you did not get over yourself. So that's my tip of the day, is get over your fear. Write them down. Write down why you're afraid to talk to people. Yeah, it's not a fun feeling to go up to a stranger that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe it's an old high school friend. Guys, don't have the mindset of a salesman. I think that is one thing that holds a lot of us back from showing people what we have as for Beachbody, is the fact that we approach it already thinking about the sale. We approach these people already thinking about the sale, and that comes off throughout your conversation. They're going to immediately know, oh crap, this guy's going to try to sell me something. I know he's doing that Beachbody thing. I know, because I've been there. All this kind of stuff I talk about is all based on my own experience. I know, I've been there so many times. If you just have the mindset of connecting with people, making new friends, the conversation of Beachbody will naturally come up, I can promise you. But the goal is to keep adding new people to your contact list every single day. It doesn't matter if it's somebody you just met in the grocery store. and you see them wearing some awesome sneakers, just say, hey, dude, those are awesome shoes. If a conversation strikes up from that, hey, you're on Facebook, right? I'd love to connect with you. Awesome. That's all you need to leave it at. You don't need to go for the sale right away. So that's my little tidbit on that. So Team Cup Challenge, that's what this thing's all about, guys. 30-day all-out push. Do in these 30 days what you have been afraid to do the whole time you've been signed up. I can promise you, you have the potential to make July the biggest month that you have ever had in your business. If you've been signed up for 3 or 4 years or even a month, you have the potential to explode July. That's what my goal is. I hope some of you guys are going to follow right along with me. Next up is called a Blitz Day. I absolutely love this. So we got to hear Eric Worre inside of our Team Fit Revolution training. Eric Worre, if you don't know, is the author, and he does the audiobook on GoPro. If you have not listened to that, write it down right now when you're watching this recording or the live call. Write it down and listen to it or read it. Absolutely amazing. It should be used throughout the entire network. So a Blitz Day, this is one day where you sit down for, it can be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever, but we as a whole team take one day. I'm thinking something like the first Monday of each month or the first day of each month. But on that day, our sole purpose is to book up our calendar as far out throughout the month that you can do. So if you've been, like I said earlier, if you've been putting off talking to a certain person, or if you haven't followed up with a certain person in a while, this is the day that you sit down and you fill up your calendar. It's kind of like a Team Cup Challenge, right? Team Cup Challenge is a 30-day push in your business for Success Club points. Blitz Day is a one-day all-out push. If you want to do a one-day push where you try to get Success Club 5 in one day, go for it. If you want to just simply get 30 or 40 appointments on your books, go for it. But I definitely want to incorporate this into the team. So I'm going to come up with either the first day of each month or the first Monday. As always, Monday's always a great start day for myself. So next up is a quote that I actually don't remember. Phil, maybe you might be able to get this one. Don't install great software on a crappy hard drive. This, like I said, I don't remember exactly who said this quote, but it was so true. And this means software being personal development.
I think it was Darren who said it.
Was it Darren? Okay, cool.
I think it was Darren.
Okay, cool. So software is personal development. Hard drive is you. Don't install great software on a crappy hard drive. Why? What happens when you have an old school computer from like 1999 and you try to put the newest edition of Photoshop on it? It's not going to run great. It's going to crash your computer. It's going to tweak. It's going to have bugs. It's going to have viruses. It's the same thing with personal development, guys. And the example that Darren gave, I've heard from other coaches too. I'll recommend a book or tell them to do personal development or stuff, and they say, oh yeah, I tried that for a while, but it just didn't work. That's because you have a crappy hard drive. If you are not open and willing to learn, you're not going to get far, guys. Not just I'm not talking business here. I'm talking about in life, because what was the other quote I heard too? It was, you may graduate and finish school, but you will never stop learning. Your education should never stop, because the second you stop learning, you stop growing as a human being, as a person. So as far as personal development, that is some amazing software. You have to make sure your hard drive up here is ready to take it on. Because when you're reading personal development, it's so easy to read book after book and listen to audio after audio and watch video after video. But if you're not actually retaining any information and implementing it, what are you doing it for? You're wasting your time. You have to, that's why I'm a big fan of taking notes, guys. I fill these friggin' journals up like crazy because I take notes on everything. Doesn't matter if it's a video, an audio, or a book. I take notes on everything because I want to make sure I have something to reflect on and to ask myself, how can I implement this in my daily life? And that's why I've developed over the last couple of years. I've developed so much up here, more than I have physically. It's like I tell people my story, and they, the second I mention I lost 50 pounds using Beachbody products, they're like, oh my gosh, 50 pounds, that's incredible. And I tell them, you know what, I don't even care about that. It's the changes that happen up here and in here that make the biggest impact in my life. It's because of personal development. Make sure you're not installing great software on a crappy hard drive. And next up, I kind of touched base on this already. Your choices are your defining moments. Again, Darren Hardy. And I'll put this in here real quick. You guys will be happy to know if you did not make it to Summit, I did get an email that has the full slideshow and the video recording of Darren Hardy. So I'll post that in the group for you guys. Everyone should listen to this thing because it's incredible. Your choices are your defining moments. Like I said, on a day-to-day basis, those tiny little choices that you make are going to show the outcome of where you end up a year from now. It doesn't matter if it's choosing the cheeseburger versus the salad, or if it's choosing between, should I reach out to this person or should I not? Those little choices that you face every single day. And if you think about it, our entire day is made up of choices. When your alarm goes off in the morning, when this thing starts screaming in your ear, you have a choice. Do I hit snooze or do I get my ass up out of bed? From the second that happens, your entire day is choices. You wake up, go into the kitchen. Do I drink a glass of water or do I reach for sugary orange juice? Do I reach for the healthy protein option or do I shove my face full of Pop-Tarts?
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Actually we were at Summit, and that day my husband Rob was able to join us. And I have a little tidbit about choices. We went to go eat lunch after the seminar with Darren, and we Nathan's, which, hot dogs, Philly cheesesteaks, all that. And I was looking at the food, and I was like, what do I want? Do I want to get a hot dog? And I was like, no, I'll get the chicken sandwich. Yep. Well, my husband got the Philly cheesesteak. When we got our food, I took a bite of mine. I was like, oh, that's really good. I took a bite of his, and it was kind of like, really fatty, really greasy, really disgusting. Well, he took a bite of my chicken sandwich, and not even 2 minutes later, he was like, you made the better choice. I was like, what? Right there. Choice.
Yep.
And he finished his sandwich, but on the last bite, he looked at me, and he's like, oh, man, I feel like crap. I'm like, see, you should have made a different choice, huh? Yeah. And I'm like, you don't have to eat that last bite. And he's like, no, I'm going to commit to the choice that I made, and I'm going to suffer for it.
Yep.
So I just want to, it's literally even the littlest things. I mean, like he said, do you ever get bitten by an elephant? No. Do you get bit by a mosquito? All the time. Yep. The littlest things is what makes your life and the choices happen.
Yep. Amen to that. It's so true. And you guys take this stuff based on choices. Like I said, watch the Darren Hardy recording because there's no way I can ever recreate the speech that he did. I mean, he has it so perfected, and his performance on it is just awesome. But watch the video and implement this on your customers and your challenge groups if you run those, because you can teach them about these daily choices. It's never just about us as coaches and building our business. It's about the people that we're helping, right? For me, it's about you guys. I know that my business as a diamond coach is not anymore about me. It's about helping you guys the best that I can. So you guys have 110% of my focus. It's about my challengers. It's about my clients. I have to make it so much about them. So take this whole thing on choices and teach them what you're learning. Because I believe as a coach, we should not be telling people what to do. We should be teaching them how to do it. So that a year from now, they won't need our help on a daily basis. We won't need to baby them on a daily basis, just like me and you guys as coaches. Another quote I heard was, we are independent coaches, not codependent coaches. I see too many people sign up in this business and they expect myself or someone else to baby them every single day and tell them what to do. You signed up as an independent coach for this company. So you have to learn to just spread your wings and fly. Sometimes it means jumping off and building your wings on the way down, right? I know myself and a bunch of us have been there. So teach your coaches. That's all word duplication, right? That's going to be another topic that I'm going to actually have Kaylee come on as a guest speaker on, is duplication and the power of it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. All this stuff for Beachbody has already been done for you. You just have to take it and personalize it, make it work for you. So next up, stop looking for shortcuts and start busting your ass. Darren Hardy again. One of the key ingredients to success that he said, it's 3 words to being successful: hard freaking work. That's all it comes down to. So many people try to find these quick fixes, try to find these shortcuts, try to find these easy to-do lists. It will never be easy, guys. I don't care if you are a brand new coach or if you are 15-star diamond. This will never get easier. Yes, the income will get more residual and you'll have bigger paychecks week after week. But if you are truly in this for the right reasons, even when you're a 15-star diamond coach making $20,000 a week, what are you going to do then? Because if you are simply money driven, then when you start bringing in money, you'll do the same thing that I did after the cruise in March. I got complacent. I got comfortable. I stopped pushing because I lost my drive. I forgot why I started this thing. But obviously we're in this to make money, guys. We all have bills to pay. We all want to pay off our debt and become financially free. But if you have the right drive, even when you start bringing in that money, it's going to be your inner drive, your big why that keeps you going even after you have money. Money is an object. I can't stand money because it's a friggin' piece of paper that ruins lives. It's a piece of paper that runs this entire world, and it takes away the true meaning of why we're here, because on your deathbed, you're not going to care about how much money you have in the bank. You're going to care about the relationships and the experiences that you had. So that's my job as a coach, is to constantly be reminding everyone, including myself, about that. So stop looking for those shortcuts. There's going to be new shiny objects and toys that come along. There's going to be new business opportunities selling skin creams and other shakes and vitamins and all this crap. And they're going to offer more money up front and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to try to throw all this stuff at you guys. But stop looking for the shortcuts to make money, because it literally comes down to those 3 words: hard freaking work. If you're not ready to put in the hard freaking work, good luck. Let me know when you find that secret formula that everyone is searching for, because it doesn't exist. The secret formula is busting your ass.
Well, isn't that what Darren even said too? There's no silver bullet, there's no magic pill, and there's no secret. It's hard freaking work.
Exactly. That's all it comes down to. Next up, you always hear the word work, right? What is work? What does that mean as a Beachbody coach? Work means creating content and inviting. Those 2 things alone. So when you hear work, I'm going to work on my business today. I spent 2 hours working on my business. That word work means creating content or inviting. If you say, oh, I'm going to work on my business today, scroll, scroll, scroll. If you're scrolling through your newsfeed and calling it working, I don't want you on the team. I'm sorry, but now coming out of Summit, where I'm at now after 5 years of doing this stuff, Summit for me this year unlocked, I think, true leadership, true confidence in myself, true belief in myself finally. I've been Mr. Nice Guy for too long. I've been babying people for too long. I'm sorry, but it's not happening anymore. I'm a leader in this business. I'm an independent coach, just like you guys. But the difference between myself and you may be the fact that I have fully accepted the fact that I'm a business owner now. I am a leader, and I'm going to treat it like that. So if you're slacking, stop. Reach out to me or your upline coach, because we are here to help you. But when you reach out, don't expect to be babied. I'm going to tell you what you need to do, and I'm going to teach you how to do it in order to make this thing successful. It's up to you if you want to take that information and do anything with it. It's just like personal development. You can read 1,000 books all year, but if you don't do a damn thing with it, what's the point? Next up, someone answer this for me. What is the best way to ride a bike? Anyone? Easy answer, guys. What's the best way to ride a bike? Ride it. Think back when you were a kid and you were learning how to ride a bike, right? Did you read a book about it? Did you look up a YouTube video about it? Chances are no, because we didn't have all the social media stuff in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. The best way to ride a bike is to just freaking ride it. Correlate that to what we do with Beachbody. The best way to build a Beachbody business is to just do it. You know what to do. Don't say, I don't know how to build the business. I've done 40 team calls. 40. There are thousands of videos on YouTube. There's a whole coach training academy in the back office. You know how to build the business. You talk to people, invite, and create content. Those are like your 3 things. Invite to your challenge groups, invite to the business opportunity, and just talk to people about it. It's so easy to do, but it's so easy not to do, right? The Slight Edge, if you haven't read that, that's where that's from. These tasks are easy to do, but also easy not to do. It's just that action where people slip up. Taking action, going from here to physically doing it is the hardest part. That's why I loved hearing that quote, is the easiest way to ride a bike is to just do it. Like I said earlier, people get stuck in personal development jail. All they do is read about stuff. They know all the resources. They know all the team calls. They know everything. But another quote, knowledge is only potential power. Knowledge, it's useless if you are not doing anything with it, right? So that's why I love that quote again, because if you're learning how to ride a bike, you can't just read about it. You can't just read a book about riding a bike and ever expect to actually do it. At some point, you have to get up off your ass and just take that leap of faith. Last one is, it's fanatics that make it to the top. I also love this one because you don't see any top 10 coach that treats this thing like a hobby. They are fanatics about it. So you learn to be a fanatic, you'll make it, guys. Last one is vision and belief. I know for myself, I seriously have been struggling with self-doubt and not having confidence in myself into going from a diamond to a leadership position. And it's something I've struggled with all my life, just because I never grew up having any type of mentor. I never grew up having, even my parents, I never had anyone that instilled some type of belief in me. I had to learn how to create it for myself. And so because of that, it's something I've always struggled with. And I can tell you, I've been to Summit the last 3 years as a diamond coach because of that fact. And like I said, something in this summit unlocked, I think, my true potential, because I never truly saw it. I had a little bit of a vision. I really wanted it. I wanted it so bad. But I can honestly say that something unlocked this year, and I'm going to the top. It's non-negotiable. I have no doubt in my mind. So I just wanted to leave you guys with a little picture that I made in Summit. I heard a story about a coach who had gone to Summit for 3 years in a row as a diamond. And next thing you know, she was 5-star. That's where I'm at, right? So I made this guy right here. No longer about myself, guys.
Where can we find the trainings from Summit in the back office?
Those will be posted in a few weeks.
Okay.
So aside from that, welcome back home. Let's light this team on fire, guys. I'm excited. I am pumped. I am ready to do this. I know some of you are going to come to the top with me. Some of you are going to stay at the bottom. That's perfectly okay. It's your business, your life. Do what you want with it. I'm going to the top. It's been Coach Chaz. Peace out, crew. Have a blessed day.
You too.
You